grace. But therein lies the problem. For a long time, the Adventist Church has not admitted that there is abuse in families, Adventist families, that there is Adventist even in the Adventist Church itself. We know that from Romans 12 verse 2, and be not conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of our minds. We Adventists, we are popularly known as people of the word. We read, we digest, we study, and we should be transformed by the word. We also know that part of that transformation means when you put salt into food, the taste of the food must be different. Many people have challenged that if a church had to be bulldozed because they want to build a mall, is the community around going to protest to save that church? Why? Because if the salt is making the food tasty, it should be making a difference. And maybe I should stay there. Those of us who have studied physical sciences know that for you to have done any work, there must be a visible difference to where you started and when you ended. So if we read the Bible and a lot of effort is put in place, we can quote the scriptures, we can quote the spirit of prophecy, but there is no visible difference in the way we carry on as Adventists, as Christians, then we essentially haven't done anything, because Christianity, like Jesus, our master and mentor, his Christianity was real, it was visible on the ground. I am going to show you a lot of slides, but we're not going to read them much. We're just going to skim them through. Like Ruthy said, the statistics we're going to show are horrific, but we're not wanting to focus on how bad things are, or maybe, but rather, like in Pretoria Eastern Suburbs, what do we do knowing what we would have unveiled? You can see the statistics. So, the people that we live in our primary mission fields, these are the people who may be our spouses, the people who help us in our homes, the people we lead, if we lead, or the people who lead us in the workplace. And these are the people we must initially make a difference to. Adventist Home says that these statistics, like I said, will show you at a church-sponsored event, female leaders, anonymous surveys revealed 63 of 93 women had been abused. At another event, teenage girls and women, look at that. And this is one of the publications of the church saying that. So, this is another research. It was titled Abuse in the Pews. 61% of respondents have suffered from controlling and intimidating behavior. 42% reported physical intimidation. And look at this. And this is also an official publication of the church. Look at this one. 50% of Adventist girls at a youth camp revealed they had been abused by a father or a relative. 30% of women in the Seventh-day Adventist church had been abused. If there are 100 women sitting in this church this morning, 30 of them have been abused. These statistics are going to shock you. And here is a case, the Dross restaurant case. We are all familiar with it. Here is a very similar one, right there in an Adventist church. To protect people and names, I have anonymized where it happened and the name, but this was actually a conviction. So it's not hearsay. And the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the Cape Conference had to come with an official statement. And the problem is, highlighted there was that the church tried to hide it. Even after a conviction, the church tried to hide it. This is our parent union right now. Domestic violence has been documented as a major issue within the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Incidences of abuse follow trends documented in non-Adventist populations. This is adventist.org.za. This is not the Daily News. This is an official mouthpiece of the SAU. There is a program, we end it now, I think we are all familiar with it, which is one of the responses after the church has identified that this problem is not outside the church, it's also inside the church. You can see that even students of theology, this one was a thesis somebody at the University of South Africa, bothered by what's happening in trying to find solutions, Seventh-day Adventism and the abuse of women. I'm going to show you a couple of slides of other official Adventist publications in different parts of the world to show you that this is not a local problem, it's a global problem. This one is a research that was done by these effects of intimate partner violence among Seventh-day Adventist church attendees. Adventists today, abuse is a challenge for the Adventist Church. A new campaign is launched to counter it. This is the spectrum. I know that in the Seventh-day Adventist, we always talk about the mark of the beast, the papacy and all that. And these people did, this might be a controversial article, which says whether you're a Catholic or Adventist, we have abuse in common. So these two servants of the Lord at the GC wrote a very interesting story. They said, today we are smiling. If that strikes you as odd for a couple sitting down to write an introduction to a book on family violence, let us explain why we're smiling. We are smiling because Seventh-day Adventist Church has had the courage to quantify the reality of abuse and family violence within Adventist families. So, eventually at some point in time, the church agreed and admitted this was a problem that needed solutions to be put in place. The North American division on their official website has got those tools which you can go and download. Specifically so those of us who work with children here at Pretoria Eastern Suburbs Church, those who work with the youth, there are resources that one can download to try and help us to stem this problem, because it is real. There is another article that was written, and there is still more statements, and this is the official World Church website, Adventist.org, and they have also said there and decided that we needed to solve these problems, prayerfully so. So, coming to any local church, there are many problems that hinder those who want to be able to help victims or perpetrators of family violence within the church. This paper was written, and you will be surprised some of the problems that preclude people, those who are sitting in our local churches, from coming out. And I remember in one life that we were also family life, elders and deacons were appointed to visit the man who was supposed to be abusing his wife. And when he got there, he looked at those men of God sitting there and said to them, I am not going to tolerate another man coming into my home and tell me what to do, not to do in my home. I also know in another life where Ruthy and I have done family life in many lives, the team that the church sent, when they got there, the husband was not there and only the wife was there. So they did what they could with the one half of the problem or the challenge. And then when the man came, picked up a phone, phoned our elder and said, you, don't ever come into my home in my absence and try to deal with my issues. Those are real challenges. Then women, why don't they speak out when they are being abused? Why aren't they coming to the church? Why? Because the Seventh-day Adventist pastors are like 99.9999 men. And abused women find it uncomfortable to speak to a male about intimate partner violence. The other problem, we had an Adventist Risk Management Convention International held in Cape Town a few years ago. We invited a woman who's a social worker in South Africa. She said something that brought tears to my eyes, even as I start to speak about it now. She says, I work with so many abused women, Christian women, Adventist women. But the biggest problem that I see is the wife who is abused by the pastor. How does she come to report about the man of God? She wants to protect his job. She wants to protect his reputation. How is she going to come and say, my husband, who is an elder in the church, is doing this to me? She suffers in silence. She wants to protect the reputation. And there you see, look at that. This is after the woman reported when this guy went to, he said, I don't know why Sue went to your shelter. John said he never hit her. The church has taken sides and supports the men. While our members found prayer to be essential as a way to cope with difficult situations, we find it also revealed a number of active strategies that members use to move out of this painful, and these are enumerated there. It's just that in the interest of time, we are not going to read them. Look at that one. lack of condemnation of abuse from the pulpit, a church leader's poor advice not being taken seriously by the church leader, some of the reasons why people don't come out to the church. I have never heard even one sermon that even mentioned abuse, let alone condemned it. The pastor encouraged her to tell the abuser not to hit her and to tell him no and fight him off. The lack of understanding regarding abuse is not restricted to men, even women. One woman approaches another lady in the church and they're completely taken out of context or not understood. So Ruthy comes to Bev and says, this is what Abisha does to me. Then Bev says this. I find it hard to believe Abisha is such a good guy, you know. How would he do this? So people are afraid of all these things and they suffer in silence. The Adventist Risk Management Unit was designed by the World Church to manage risks, not just risks of churches burning down or buses falling into a cliff while carrying pathfinders to a trip, but even to avoid molesters and pedophiles in our churches. So Aunt Bev, are we teaching our children what is a good touch and what is a bad touch back there when they are small? I laughed one day when I asked my 3-year-old niece when she started going to creche, and I asked her, Amanda, what did you guys do today? She says, we were talking about private parts. I said, really? What about private parts? Says they told us what is a good touch and what is a bad touch. And I said, hallelujah, that is awesome. So the End It Now is a program which we've already talked about and everybody knows about it. And there are resources that we as a church can go and access and be able to get help in order to... The greatest evidence of the power of Christianity that can be presented, sorry, I think once it moves twice. But anyway, let's stop it there. So our intention was to have a dedicated prayer for families by a pastor that may be present. In the absence of a pastor, I don't think I can see any. I am going to ask Elder Pete, maybe. Please, can you come and pray for your church, Elder? The devil has launched a major onslaught on the saints of the living God, and prayer and action is what we need. We're talking about the book of Nehemiah. Nehemiah did not just put the bricks and the swords down and kneel to pray. They were building with one hand, and the other hand was holding a sword. That's what we must do. We must pray, we must act, and we must defend. Thank you.
I invite you to kneel with me on this one. Our Father in heaven, we thank you, Lord, that we can come to you with all our challenges, and even this one of abuse in the home, even in Adventist home, Lord, in our congregation, there may be families where people are experiencing this kind of violence, this kind of abuse, invasion of privacy. Lord, I pray for each family, each church member in this church, that you'll bless us, Lord, that you'll protect us, that you'll help us to see if we're doing things wrong, that we can confess them and that you can heal us and those that we hurt. I pray, Lord, that you'll help us to take this matter seriously and to be able to deal with it effectively in our homes, in our church, in our congregation. We don't know the answers, Lord, but we turn to you because you have all the answers that we need. In Jesus' name, amen.
Ruthy will do the mission as we collect the offering.
time is up, so maybe we can skip the mission story. Is it okay? Okay. You can go ahead and play for us the mission DVD whilst we are collecting.
The thing that I really like is seeing people do something that they think they can't do, or trying something, facing a challenge, and then pushing through and continuing to try. To me, it gives me courage to see that people can be willing to do something. We see people who have never climbed before, they're terrified of it, they're scared of heights, and we say, no, you can do it, and we give them encouragement, and we try to help give them some kind of motivation, and they go for it, and they do it, and at the end, they're so excited that they did it. You know, that's just really fulfilling to me. My wife, Jessica, and I most recently lived in Washington State in the USA, and we just felt like God was calling us somewhere else, and we prayed about it, and through prayer and study, God brought us to this place. Bangkok is a giant city. I think there's like 12 million people that live here. They say there's 2 million that commute into work every day. It's very modern. It's got a lot of high-tech stuff. Neither one of us really likes urban settings or the city. We much more prefer nature and being outdoors. But sometimes you have to give up your desires and everyone's for what God has. So yeah, He brought us here, and it wouldn't have been our first choice, but it's His choice, and so that's what we want to do. So the F5 Challenge Center is a health-focused center of influence in Bangkok, Thailand, where we're trying to connect with people and minister to felt needs through the avenue of health and fitness. F5 is actually an acronym, or there's 5 Fs rather. It's faith, fellowship, fitness, fortitude, and fun. And those correlate with the 5 aspects of health: the spiritual, the mental, the physical, the emotional, and the social. It's kind of a holistic, encompassing message of health to try and connect with every aspect. Depression and suicide rates are really high, and so meeting those social and those emotional needs are also really important. Climbing is a very good thing for that. Climbing has been shown in studies to help with depression and different things like that. We have the climbing gym here where people can come and they can try out climbing, but also during the times where the weather is good, we lead weekly outdoor trips. We take people out of this giant city where they can go and climb on real rock. You know, to be able to see God's creation, to be able to see and interact with them in nature. And then basically you're spending 8 hours with a group of people, and it really gives opportunities in a social setting just to interact with each other, to learn about one another, and to really build those connections that build trust. When you're hanging off the side of a cliff, 26 meters up in the air, and the only thing keeping you from falling to death is the person below holding onto the rope, it really builds trust and community. And so then when they come back down and they're so excited and you know they're really pumped up, you give them a high five and say, that was great, you know, and then they sit down there while they wait for the next 2 people, and you get to talk and interact with them. And so you're building that relationship in a social setting. But we've had people talk to us about very personal challenges that they're facing. Maybe when they come into the gym and they're just kind of one-on-one, then they say, you know, this is something that's going on. And so we found that it really helps build a solid relationship rather than something where, you know, you see them every once in a while. The majority of people are living in cities. And often, you know, when we first were thinking about becoming missionaries, we were thinking about, oh, the jungle adventures. We were reading Eric B. Hare stories, you know, and fighting tigers and rogue elephants. And when God called us to Bangkok, it was like, that's not really a mission field, you know, that's a city. But yeah, as we thought about it, it's like, this is a huge mission field. And it's where people, you know, they don't know, and oftentimes they don't care. They don't really feel a need. They don't feel like they need anything physical. But what they fail to understand is that they do have emotional needs. They do have social needs. They have these things. And oftentimes you don't even know. You feel like, well, I got an Audi and I got a nice house and I got a girlfriend. I don't need anything else. But when we connect with them, we're able to share with them and build those relationships, you come to understand that and you can help, you know, share that there is a need that you have. You think that you're filling it with all of these things that you have, but it's not actually filling it. And that hole that you feel is actually can be filled with God. He's seeking you and actively looking to connect with you. But yeah, working with a group that has everything, it takes right more to the heart, that work towards the heart.
disperse to our classes, I just wanted to mention that we've got resources. He showed one slide that had good touch and bad touch. We've got Adventist Risk Management website. It's adventistrisk.org. You can find all the resources of what we're talking about from that website. It's got youth issues, it's got church as a whole, and even youngsters, abuses in different categories, and also we've got things like bullying and how to deal with that in a church setup. So you can always visit that website and get resources that will be able to help you. As we disperse to our classes, we've got 2 adult classes. No, sorry, before we disperse, we've got a questionnaire that is going to be sent out by the communication department from Family Life. We are encouraging you to fill it out. It's going to help us to identify the areas of need that we might target in the coming year going forward. Areas of concern that are peculiar to the church and people, to the congregation that we are dealing with. So we are kindly asking that you fill in that questionnaire so that you'll be able to extract from it the relevant information that we can come up with a plan on how we will carry forward. We've got 2 adult classes here in the sanctuary. We've got one on my left outside, one by the trees. We've got the youth by the landing on the foyer on the side, and another Bible study class under the trees. All the children are in the classes behind me. We can send him 2 and 2, or you had opened another one, Bev, it's fine. Yes, we march out. Thank you, may we be blessed.